Randy Orton says NXT stars don't know what they're effing doing. Plus, a WWE legend is making their Ring of Honor debut tonight. And will we see Steve Austin on WWE television after WrestleMania? Na. Randall Keith is a spicy Mother Hubbard when he wants to be.
Certainly is.
He was on the Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee did an episode of his show from the stadium in Dallas.
Yeah, we've seen what the WrestleMania set looks like now as well, which is really cool. I quite like it.
They did the thing where they threw the ball.
Did you notice though? Right, Michael Cole was like, "You're gonna get it into this tiny hole here," and then when it pans back up, it looks like the hole is. It looks like the hole is vastly bigger, vastly bigger. Still, that was a good shot. The dude throwing the ball, that was kind of cool.
And if you look as they do a close up, the football becomes a tennis ball. Weird camera trickery. They unveiled the stage and did all that on the Pat McAfee show, but Randy Orton was there as well, and he got talking in detail about the stars coming up to the main roster from NXT and their lack of, shall we say, finesse. He says, there's an art to what we do, and a lot of guys have lost that art. Now, instead of selling a punch, because you need to sell a punch, I'm protecting myself because I don't want to get my effing jaw broken. That's unfortunate, but the art of professional wrestling, like when Vince was on the Pat McAfee show, he talked about your number one priority, above all, being to protect your opponent. That's not taught necessarily in NXT. I know that because I've been in the ring with guys that came from NXT, and they don't know what the F they're doing. It's unfortunate, but I think that's just kind of how things are changing. Now, I don't think there's any connection to, because obviously Randy Orton almost got injured a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
In the ring. With that frog splash off Montez Ford. I don't think that's connected to that.
No.
I think there's been it's a few other isolated instances in relation to that.
I think he's not been shy about talking about NXT in the past.
No.
He and Tommaso Ciampa had a bit of a heated affair back. I say heated affair. I guess it was light jibes at one another the other year. Talk about leg slaps and all sorts and whatnot. I think whilst I was thinking about this, I mean, it's two separate sort of schools of thinking, right? You've got Randy Orton, who's come up in OVW and WWE primarily, obviously, you know, getting all these training and stuff from there. So that's a different sort of work ethic and vision of wrestling than it is, say, when you get someone who comes from like a Ring of Honor or the Indies or something, you know. It's quite a hard, stiff working environment. So I can see why, you know, Randy has these thoughts, and I mean, you know, I think essentially WWE wrestlers probably do tend to go on to work a bit longer than some of the indie people who put a lot of stuff into it, you know? And
that's what Randy Orton was saying as well, because he was saying he adapted his style later in the interview to prolong his in-ring career, because he got injured very early in his career several times, and basically had a conversation with himself and said, look, if I'm going to do this for a long time, I've got to change what I do. He said, I toned back the physicality to the point where I know what I'm capable of, I know what my body is capable of, but I also know what I need to do out there to get a reaction, and I don't need to break my back. He went on to say as well that he wants to wrestle for another 10 or 12 years. He says he thinks he's got another 10 or 12 years in him, and then he kind of wants to sort of become almost like an Undertaker type, have an Undertaker type schedule.
Yeah.
Not now, Undertaker's retired, maybe one more match, maybe squeezing one out, but more a case of like you rock up for like your WrestleManias, your SummerSlams, your Survivor Series, and just have those big epic matches and moments.
I'd be happy to see that. It's so strange now. Like, I remember maybe a few years back being like, Randy Orton's just not doing it for me, just a little bit boring. And now I look forward to him when he's on Raw, because he's one of like the best parts about Raw, because he's just having fun at the moment, isn't he? I think he knows what he wants to do. He knows what he kind of wants from life now and what he wants from the business, and he's just having a good old time.
When he's invested in a story, in a match, then it's gangbusters.
Yeah.
when he's not, you can really tell.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
really tell when he's not that invested. This is a busy old weekend for all the wrestlers, because obviously Randy Orton part of WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania weekend kind of began yesterday with Joey Janela's spring break. Want to give a little bit of love to Sean Waltman. He had a match with Joey Janela last night, and afterwards announced that he tore his bicep a month ago, and has been just sort of pushing through it to get to this match with Joey Janela. And now he's going to take some time off, have some surgery, and then come back for a few more matches.
I'm glad he's coming back for a few more matches. I do obviously hope he's all right. You know, he looked fantastic when he was in the ring again. It looked like he'd never been away in the first place. He's really, really talented, obviously, as we all know. But yeah, I hope he does well in his surgery and he comes back stronger than ever. And we see him go out on his own terms, as sometimes we don't see with a lot of wrestlers, do we?
No, we don't. And I can feel like he's going to come back, and there's going to be another run with Janela, and there'll be some other things for him to do.
Yeah.
And we'll move on from there. But it's a good start to the weekend. Spring break, night 1, that was. Night 2 is tonight, as is ROH Supercard of Honor.
Ooh.
And tonight we will see a WWE legend make their debut for Ring of Honor. Who are we talking about, Andrew?
We're talking about the golf cart driving Kerwin White. No, we're not. We're talking about Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero. So what's Chavo doing tonight?
So Chavo is going to be in Bandito's corner at Supercard of Honor when Bandito faces Jonathan Gresham in the winner-take-all match. Obviously, Bandito, a Ring of Honor champion, never really lost the belt. Jonathan Gresham, also Ring of Honor champion too. They're going to fight together to kind of just unify the belts, I guess, now. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be good.
Chavo Guerrero making his debut in the corner of Bandito. Of course, Eddie Guerrero was a part of the early days of Ring of Honor. So there's a nice little bit of history there. Great usage of Chavo. Pop him in the corner of Bandito. Make that a thing more often. That'd be fun. That's part of Supercard of Honor tonight. That also includes Red Titus defending the ROH TV title against Minoru Suzuki. Good luck with that. Have a lovely time. Mercedes Martinez facing Willow Nightingale to crown an interim ROH Women's World Champion. This is happening because Diana Purrazzo is down the road.
She is
doing multiverse matches.
Do we think she's going to finish her match and then run super fast and then be on the top of the ramp by the end of this match?
She's going to Naruto run her way through the streets to get
so much
there.
faster if you do that.
It is faster if you do that. It's true. You see Ninja Mac in action. I'm mentioning this for 2 reasons. One, because Ninja Mac is the guy that you may have seen a gif of this morning from Bloodsport last night. This guy who lands this gorgeous spinning kick that's probably got a very fancy name that just blew everybody's brains off, and at least one person's head off in Bloodsport. So he's in action, and he's facing Tully Blanchard's mystery new client. Speculation in the top office.
Oh, yeah?
Speculation in the top office. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry!
That would be amazing. Oh my goodness gracious me.
That's the top
I'm
office.
taking it. I like that.
Do you want that for the bottom office as well?
Yeah, I'll take that for the bottom office too. They'll like that very
and
much.
Bottoms down for Joe Hendry, potentially. And Briscoe's defending the ROH tag titles against FTR.
My God.
Oh, Briscoe's, by the way, won the GCW tag belts.
Amazing.
At Spring Break.
It's Spring Break. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to watching Spring Break. There's a lot of wrestling to watch over the weekend, Tom, but I'm looking forward to getting into some of the GCW stuff.
And we're looking forward to seeing Steve Austin tomorrow night on the Kevin Owens show.
Come here.
I was given the,
you're doing
the
the
backwards flip.
Oh, the backwards ones.
bird.
Oh, that's us demonetized then in backwards land. So Steve Austin set to appear on the Kevin Owens show. A few rumors have circulated from a couple of sources saying Steve Austin may continue on post WrestleMania. We can tell you, according to sources close to it, no, it's not the case at all. One source from WWE revealing that it's a one-time deal as of now. I genuinely think. I mean, Austin looks in great shape.
Yes, he does.
And if there's an interview that he did recently where you can just see, like, yeah, he's looking good.
Yep.
He's looking like he's ready to fight over the weekend. But I don't know whether Austin would want to come back for an elongated amount of time. He's certainly not booked to be back after WrestleMania. There's nothing in the books for him.
No, and I think he said himself, right, that he's just adamant in not sort of coming back and doing it full time. Like, he doesn't want to. He doesn't really want to tarnish, much like The Undertaker was saying, he doesn't really want to tarnish, like, what he left, you know? But Me and Ross were speculating, could we see Kevin Owens try and poke a match out of the big bald man? And yeah, maybe. You know, especially if it main events night one, I think we're gonna be like, oh, it's just gonna be this talk show thing, and then Kevin Owens gonna really like just poke the bear so much that he unleashes a kind of a whoop poop.
I've seen a few people. Owens. A few people have messaged me on this one as well, and I quite like the theory. I don't know why I haven't mentioned it before. Kevin Owens show on night one, poking the bear.
Yeah.
Austin Owens on night 2.
That would be very nice. But that maybe is that too big when you've got Brock and Roman on the same night as well?
Oh.
It's WrestleMania though, isn't it?
Could be.
It's a tough one.
It could be.
We'll see what happens.
Hey, we're going to see. You can get what Andrew thinks is going to happen on 9 pitches and the WrestleMania predictions, both live on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to watch us over the weekend at Cultaholic Live.
Yeah.
We'll do the grades for night 1 and night 2.
We certainly will.
It is me and you, isn't it?
It is me and you,
cool.
yes.
I thought you did a bit of office admin whilst we're recording. It is me. I am in Sunday, aren't I?
Hello, are you alive?
I don't think I am.
Tom?
Don't think I will be yet.
Tom? All I see is ones and zeros. What's going on?
Hey, get off, because these ducks are poorly. Sorry, I mean these swans
are sick.
More news throughout the day.
These ducks are poor.
By the way, some love for this, right? So Matthew, Greg, and I did the Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review on the Saturday. The universe did something wonderful for us, and we have reached WrestleMania X7.
Oh.
On the weekend of WrestleMania 38.
Oh!
So tomorrow, join Matthew Gregg, me, Jackins from the Cultaholic Classic Raw review, and Sam Driver from the Classic Nitro review. We did a full-on watch-along of WrestleMania X7. Brand new commentary. It's irreverent. It's nonsense. It's the best way to start your WrestleMania weekend.
Wow.
And it's on your podcast feed tomorrow. Get amongst that.
It's the multiverse of podcasts, everybody.
Crisis on Infinite Arseholes, as we've called it.
Stop it.
We will give you more news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Have an amazing weekend. Keys.
Love you, bye.